What have those letters and that shape got to do with maintaining good client relationships when you are a copywriter or a marketer? Let me tell you. But first, I'm going to tell you a really frustrating story, a true story that happened to me a few weeks ago. See, I had a client who was an online doctor, and they asked me to confirm if we had the time to do work for brand guidelines. But I said to them, well, we can do stuff for brand guidelines, but our designers are currently on the Facebook ads that are going to drive leads for you, so we'd have to push that back. Is there a reason you need the brand guidelines right now? And they said, no, we would just think it would be good to have them. And I was like, okay, well, could we do it next month when we have some more time? And they said, oh, we'd really prefer if we could get them by Friday so we can show them to the boss. And I had to go, right, fine. At that point in my client relationship with this online doctor, who I might mention is no longer a client, I had to make a decision. And I had to decide, was it worth pushing back on what I knew was wrong, or did I smile and accept it and keep them happy and keep doing what they asked? Well, unfortunately, that is a conundrum that you are going to come across in your career as a copywriter, and it's what I like to call the WTW IWTN conundrum. In other words, what they want isn't what they need. That is a core problem copywriters everywhere have to contend with. And essentially it's this. The client wants something, but what they need is something else. In this instance, my client needed more leads through their Facebook ads, but instead what they wanted were brand guidelines. I don't know how much you know about brand guidelines, but essentially they're just something that sit on a shelf to occasionally be pulled out so someone can not upset a middle manager about how a post looks. They're not really that important. I know some people are going to have a go at me for that, but realistically, when it comes to earning money for clients, they're not that important. So what do you think I did? Did I push back or did I smile and accept it? Well, there's a reason that they're not my client anymore. I did actually say to them, well, that's fine, we can do that, but we're not going to be able to deliver on this other thing. They didn't like to hear that, and it kind of unraveled from there. So that's why I decided to part ways with them and choose not to go any further. However, it did get me thinking about how I could apply this situation to help you in your life. Because the WTW IWTN conundrum is something you're probably going to come across. How do you fix that? Well, it's all about maintaining a good client relationship. You do not ultimately want to annoy the person who is paying you money. Even if you're a freelancer, I know you like to think that you don't have a boss anymore and you got your own freedom and stuff like that, but ultimately you do have a boss. Your client is your boss, so you need to keep them happy. And that brings me on to this beautiful diagram, which I call the care square. This is what I keep in mind when I want to maintain good client relationships. And to be completely honest with you, the online doctor client wasn't a relationship I wanted to maintain because they were asking us for a lot of stuff, they weren't paying us very well, and I decided that it was for the good of the agency to drop them. So you don't have to use this for all the clients that you don't care about, but for the clients who you want to keep, it's better if you get to know what this care square actually does. So this is a way of remembering the 4 things that matter when it comes to client relationships. The first one, the one that you are probably most familiar with right now, results. Okay, that is the first corner of our care square, the things that you should care about. Results speak for themselves. If you can deliver results to a client, by which I mean more revenue, more profit, you save them time that they can measure and see, fantastic. That, more than anything else, is going to show them that you are a good hire, that it's good to keep on with you, and they're happy with the work you're doing. So results are something that are really important to keep abreast of. The next thing is perception. Now, perception differs from results a little bit. They can certainly feed each other, and in fact, everything in the care square can feed each other, but perception isn't necessarily objective results. Instead, it's just what the client feels is good. So, the example I gave at the beginning, the brand guidelines, Yep, that's not going to help with the results. But if I had decided that we were going to deliver those in record time and manage everything alongside each other and get some really good brand guidelines out to them, that would have increased the client's perception of how we are doing. It wouldn't actually change any objective results in terms of things that improve the business's revenue, for example, but it makes the client feel better. So it increases perception, and perception is something that's extremely underrated. And as a copywriter, as a freelancer in particular, you need to learn to manage it. That often what they want is not what they need. And sometimes you need to play the game of giving them a little bit of slack on that stuff. Results, perception. Now we're going to focus on you for a moment. The next is efficiency. Efficiency is effectively how good, how quick, and how well kind of timed your output is. So how good are you at actually delivering on the things that will increase results or improve perception? The deliverables that you're making, if you are delivering a sales page, or you are creating an email sequence, or you are putting together some brand guidelines, how efficient are you at coming out with that? This means hitting deadlines that people expect, which of course improves perception as well, but also how much time is it taking you and how much effort is it taking you yourself? I can show you one copywriter who could take a week to create a new landing page, to come up with all the research, do the writing and all that stuff. I could show you another copywriter who can do that in half a day, because they implement things around helping get research or ideas from AI. They have a system of templates that they like to use. They judge how custom and how personalized this landing page needs to be, and if they feel it needs more work, they'll put more time into it. But if they feel like it's not actually going to improve that many results, they just want to get it out quickly. So they determine how likely it's going to be to improve results, how likely it's going to be to improve perception, and then make a decision, particularly if it's more about perception than results, to be even more efficient in how they produce it. Because in that sense, getting it out quickly is the more important thing. So how efficient are you with your processes? The more efficient that you are, the better your perception becomes, potentially the better the results that you bring are. But becoming as efficient as you can be in your line of work, in your deliverables, really important. And it's the main thing that you have control over, is how efficient you are with things. The last corner of the care square, and this is something I have to thank Sean for, because for ages I used to fold this into perception, but it is different enough to have its own corner. So it went from the care triangle to the care square, which is much better for rhyming, is relationship. Okay? Relationship. Now, the relationship is the relationship you have with that client. Now, of course, this does feed into perception a little bit and how they perceive you, but relationship specifically means the relationship you have with them outside of purely the deliverables. How much do they like you? Do you remember to say happy birthday to them? Do you send them or show them little gifts or signs of affection? Do you praise what the other stuff they're doing? Are you a delight to talk with? Do you remember the names of their children? That kind of stuff. Making sure that you cater to that relationship side of the care square means that the clients you have are going to feel much more better about you. So yeah, they increase perception, of course, but also it means you are more likable as an individual, and it makes all of your client relationships much easier. So those are the four corners of the care square. These are the things that you need to make sure you have in your mind about how effective you're being in each area. The thing that I want to point out, though, is the care square, despite its seeming equality, was not created equal. You are not always going to be able to do all these things completely equally. Sometimes you're going to need to lean into one corner more than another, and only you can decide what the right way to go about that is. With the example I gave at the beginning, I could have been a bit more open to their perception. I could have been a bit more open to keeping the relationship slightly warmer, but ultimately that wasn't something that I wanted to do with that client. So I decided, well, I'm going to talk about results, because also we were getting a percentage of the revenue that we would drive from it as well. And it just broke down from there. But for you, you might want to decide that this time, in this instance that they've brought up, I am going to lean more into the perception that I am getting across as opposed to the results, or I'm going to focus on being really efficient and making sure I compliment them the next time that we're on a call so they like me more and they feel like I am a steady pair of hands to get stuff out to them with. It's going to depend on the client you have, it's going to depend on the situation they're in, but remember, these are ultimately the 4 things that you can try to control or influence in your relationship with clients, and you need to decide what you're going to sacrifice for the others. That is the care square. That is the what they want isn't what they need conundrum. And it's something you're definitely going to experience if you haven't already as a copywriter. The final message I want to leave you with is quite simply this. Don't stress yourselves out about client management. It's important, yes, but there is not a perfect way to do it. There's not a single strategy that you should be employing. Instead, it's just a muddle and a mess of different situations that you can apply these 4 corners of the care square to differently depending on what's in front of you. So heed this warning. Sometimes you will get clients who suck. Sometimes you get clients who you really like but are quite annoying. Sometimes you'll get clients who are perfect in every way, but you want to make sure that you stay in their good books. In that case, make sure that you are hitting all 4 of these corners as best as you can. That is my opinion on client management.